The Bankrupt Bookseller. Unfashionable books being what might be called bad stock. It would be difficult to know what is bad stock for a bookseller. Here is the history of a book. The first stage is when it arrives, after much of Sunday Times and Observer heralding. It is almost hot from the printers, and if it is a great success, I may sell my 3 or maybe 6. I am encouraged. I believe the book is going to be the big book of the year. I buy another 6, and then comes the frost. I am left with them. Strenuously practicing salesmanship, I sell on credit 1, maybe 2 more, but the 4 remain. What can I do with them? Their jackets, they have always wonderful jackets, coats of many colors, get rubbed and torn, and they languish. They become tired and weary. I lost taste for them. I ignore them. Some Monday I put them in the window. I expatiate to any who will listen to their claims to attention. They are worth buying, if only as representing a phase, I plead. It avails nothing. I take them out of the window. I try a little longer with them on the counters, and then they are in the old shelves at the back shop, incurably, definitely bad stock. From thence they go to be pulped, or to some who even buys at a lower price than I do, or they may remain till that day when I am no longer the bookseller and another makes an inventory of my stock. It is difficult to imagine, but it is to be faced. One day a sun will shine on the world in which I don't move about. It will shine instead on turf under which I lie, resting and content. This shop, too, will hold another, and it is hard to think what he will say and think of my stock, especially my stock of unfashionable books. Unfashionable books are principally of the ephemeral political kind. Nesbitt's published a book, Eclipse or Empire, which was a huge success at one time with a full-page advertisement in the Daily Mail, but it is dead now. I have 2 copies. The Eclipse has passed, and the Empire is still here yet a while, though, as the writer of this very book has pointed out, it is rather precarious. An earlier book of the same type was Arnold White's Efficiency and Empire, published by Methuen. It is in my collection of unfashionables for all its merits. Arnold White was one of those who, with Lord Roberts and Robert Blatchford, urged us to prepare for war. It is astonishing that more did not agree with them. War is a recurring decimator, and as we finished in 1918, we are due for another in 1930. The South African War closed in 1902. In 1914, 12 years later, Mars again commenced his bloody business. War books of the actual war are unfashionable. They don't wear well. On my shelves, I have a faded copy of The Roll Call, which Hutchinson published for Arnold Bennett. A good enough book, but dead with me. I don't think Peter Jackson is much livelier, though I have not banished it yet from a shelf with a view in the front shop. It is being elbowed out, though, by the host of newcomers, which I can hardly keep out of my shop as fast as they come. I have other oddments on these shelves, the last refuge of the unfashionable books. There is a biggish book called Bolshevist Russia, published by Stanley Paul and written by Etienne Antonelli. The price is 12 shillings 6 net, but I will take 2 shillings 6 now. The dust wrapper, which still protects the maroon covers of the book, most effectively explains the purpose of the book. It was published in 1920, and with that date in mind, I can smile at the concluding sentence. Quote, M. Antonelli's conclusions are illuminating and hopeful, end quote. That idea of hope, it is the ingredient which enables the world to go on. Duncan Davies, who has bought many books, used to tell me how at first when the world was created it would not go. It remained stagnant, dead. The makers of worlds and men commuted together and analyzed the problem. commune together and analyze the problem. They added a new ingredient to the hell's broth mixture, which men call a world, and since then it has spun unerringly, unfailingly, unhaltingly through space. The new ingredient was hope. W. H. Malik has a book among the despised and rejected. This is Life Worth Living. It is a painstaking, sincere, and very Victorian work, which provoked a poem with the same title from the then poet laureate Alfred Austin, who reads either author today, and yet there are many less worthwhile whose works I can sell easily. T. Werner Laurie have also, I see, a representative. The title stamps it as definitely of the long ago, and yet how engaging it must have been to many. The book is by Mrs. Alfred Praga and is entitled Love and £200 a Year. It is a genuinely valuable social document. It shows not how the poor have lived, but how the middle class, at the zenith of their power in Great Britain, sought to live. They planned an ample existence on £200 a year with, of course, love. This is the most unfashionable book of all, for love has raised its price. A sonnet in the New Age, published about the same time, expresses the costliness of love. I have kept it for years, if only for its unique title and subject matter. Modern Love Sonnet. A door-to-door connoisseur sings to his love. From door to door on foot I fare, each month a 4-bob sole I wear. My object is a thing to sell, a thing for well I must not tell. I sell it sometimes, oftener not. I feel sometimes I'll chuck the lot, but then I know if you I'd hold, I must get hands each week on gold. To have you, I must pay the price, and daily peddle this device. Yes, I who one time really thought love was a thing could not be bought. This is the fee then, that the task. Is it worthwhile, dear love, I ask. I think that there ought to be more poems of the commonplace. That sonnet does express the conflict between economic necessity and romantic desire. It ought to be stated, for it is a genuine problem, though perhaps now unfashionable. It has been told me that the young lovers come together now on the dole, and are very happy too, but they were sterner stuff in 1913, when love would not raise an eyebrow below 200 a year. Problems of Reconstruction. There's a genuine antique. I have a copy, and besides it, Buckle's History of Civilization, which, in a way, is only right. It is antique, too. The well-meaning, hard-working young men who learned its first thinking from Buckle has gone. I must go one day to the Working Men's College and see who go there now. From what I hear, they are not the same. They are gone, sunk in the mud of matrimony, or the deeper mud of the Somme in 1916, or of Ypres in 1917. Their ideas are unfashionable now. They believe in people who knew more than they did. They are willing to learn. They are teachable. They have left no descendants, and I know, or I would sell not only Buckle, but some of the other unfashionable books.